fallen into the student loan conundrum. All of my debt is in student loans. I'm 30 years old. I have about $300,000 in student loans.
Let's stop right there. More people need to know that they don't have to go into $300,000 worth of debt before they even make a dollar. I know that there may be some folks that will jump in the comments and say, well, what do you expect? They're expensive. How does it get paid for? It gets paid for with what to do. You know why I'm here. Before we get into the reaction today, the title of the video is $300,000 in student loan debt. That is crazy. I could have bought my house that I currently live in. It was a good deal. But I could have bought my house twice, just about. And I have a nice house. Just something to think about. Okay? Y'all seem to like these videos, man. Y'all subscribing. Can you do me a favor? If you're new here, join the family. Okay? I call it Team Green-Ellis. I want you to join Team Green-Ellis. Hit that subscribe button, please. Okay? I'm not begging, but I'm asking. Let's get into the video.
Hey, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for taking my call today.
Sure, what's up?
Okay, so I have fallen into the student loan.
Let's stop right there. I think I missed the name. Let me go back real quick because I think she said her name was Karen, but that's like a controversial term, so hold on. You're a parent and your kids are young, elementary, middle school age, and you're planning to send them to college, or even worse, they're already in high school and you know that they're going to go to college, but you don't want them to ruin their financial future. Well, here's where I come in. My name is Jordan Green-Ellis, and I'm your debt-free degree coach. I wrote this book called Caps and Gowns, All Smiles, No Frowns, The Keys to Earning a Debt-Free Degree. And I've helped families just like yours beat the debt trap so that you can establish your financial future. Your kids probably have no idea, neither are they thinking about what life will be like after high school, or more importantly, after they get a college degree. So it's our job to equip them so that they can make informed decisions. College is one of the best investment tools for your financial future, but only if you do it the right way. I want to encourage you to get this book because it outlines a step-by-step process for every single family, for every age, elementary, middle, and high school, so that you will be able to get that degree with little to no student loan debt. And more importantly, be able to establish your financial future. My name is Jordan Green-Ellis. I'm your debt-free degree coach. If you want to get a copy of this book, please hit the link below. I promise you, it'll save you so much more than what the cost of the book is. Don't wait. Get your copy today.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Atlanta. Hi, Courtney. Welcome
Courtney,
to the
okay, great. Sorry. She said that she's fallen. She had fallen, or she fell into the student loan, and that I stopped. This is no. You did not fall into this. You didn't fall into this. Now, I haven't heard what she has to say, but for the vast majority, America doesn't fall into $1.9 trillion of debt. They choose it.
Ramsey Show.
Hey, so I have fallen into the student loan conundrum. All of my debt is in student loans. I'm 30 years old. I have about $300,000 in student loans, and I am engaged
writing, so I'm writing.
for the past 3 years because we are scared to get married.
Engaged
because
okay.
of the debt. We are nervous to buy a home. We are currently renting, and we want to get free. We are completely new to you and your show.
Okay. Especially if you are planning for college and you're watching this video, can you see how detrimental borrowing in any regard, but especially student loans, can hinder your life? I just told you at the beginning of the video I could have bought my house twice, and I have a nice house. I have a decent house. Like, it ain't a mansion, but it's like it's decent. It's cool. Do you see what this does? Do you see what this does? College has to be, parents, if you're listening, even if, okay, maybe the people who are, maybe you're watching this and you've already done the college thing, it's not relevant to you. Can you do me a favor and save somebody else from this story? Can you help me get this message out? Can you help me prepare families to make more informed or better, or rather, and let me just say not more or better, just an informed decision on where they go to college? This is crazy. 300 grand. I'm curious to know what she does for a living, because, and how many degrees she has. I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh, and your plan. So we just want to go.
I understand why you're scared with $300,000 in student loan debt. Why does that affect getting married?
Good question.
It doesn't.
Well, it did. You told me you've been waiting 3 freaking years.
Right. So I guess neither one of us just want to go to the courthouse and get married, but
you want to be able to pay for something nicer, is what you're saying.
It's going to hinder your life. It's going to hold you up. Borrowing student loans is going to hold you up financially. It's going to. It's going to. Why don't y'all listen? I wish. Okay, the number one piece of feedback that I get when I speak to college grads about what I do in this regard, right? My business is twofold. When I talk about college planning, when I teach families, when I tell them how I teach families how to evade student loans, the number one piece of advice, rather, the piece of feedback, the number one piece of feedback that I get is, man, I wish I would have knew you before I went to school. As a matter of fact, just look. Y'all, before we sign up for any type of college or university, any post-high school option, okay, if you're watching this and that's like you're about at that time in your life, or you're approaching that time in your life, ask yourself, what is this post-high school option, this college or university, this junior college, this community college, this trade technical college, what is this going to do to me financially? And what is it going to do for me financially? College is not something you buy. Listen closely. Lend me your ear. It's something that you invest in. It's not something you buy. It's too expensive for the vast majority of people that decide to go to college. 77% of college graduates finish with at least $33,000 of student loans. It's probably more. It has to be a financial investment for the future. It has to be.
Saying.
Right. But,
are you a doctor or a lawyer?
Good question.
I'm actually a pharmacist.
A pharmacist.
What are you earning?
Doctor.
1.5?
Actually, it's more like 122, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Does that feel low?
It's a little low, but yours.
Here we go. Let's talk about it. This is a doctor. She's a doctor of pharmacy. She's a pharmacist. She makes $120,000 a year. Here we go. Let's run the numbers. Because we don't understand the detrimental aspects of this. Is what they're not going to tell you. Okay, your repayments, your repayment plan to that student loan lender is going to be based off of your income. Their income-based repayment, right? And so it's an income-based repayment plan. And so if you make 120, you know what they're going to say? She can afford it. And they're going to hit your head. The income-based repayments is going to start off around 25 to 30% of your income before taxes. So that 120 is already getting chopped because of taxes, but it's getting chopped more because she has to lend her paycheck to the plague of student loan lenders. And let's take it a step further. Dave, I'm sorry. I probably should do some better research on the front end. I don't know who this young lady is, the co-host of the show. I'm trying to see if I can. No, I don't know who the co-host is. I don't know her name. But they are alluding to the idea of her salary being a little low. But here's the thing. When you're in a financial bind, right? When you're in a financial bind and you need money, you got to take what they give you. In most cases, I'm not saying you have to. Of course, you can negotiate. That's a whole nother story for another day. But I'm saying, like, when you borrow like this, you put pressure on yourself. You put pressure on yourself, and you put yourself in a bind, and you're more prone to, you're more likely, you're more probable. It's more probable for you to just take that offer as opposed to waiting, because you got to pay, because you got to get the monkey off your back. This is what student loans does. That 120 grand.
Starting, you just got out. So,
Correct.
how long have you been out of school?
For the past 3 years.
Okay.
What's his situation?
I got an undergrad degree before I actually went into school, pharmacy school.
What does he make?
He makes 60, and then he also gets bonuses.
Does he have a bunch of debt too?
He actually has no debt.
Praise God.
And he has very minimal credit history. So we actually did sneak out, mortgage pre-approval, and we got it, but it was basically.
Yeah, you don't need to buy a house. You're broke.
So let me tell you.
This is not a funny situation. This is just my human natural reaction to how blunt Dave Ramsey is, and it's not funny. I'm just laughing more at his presentation. Definitely not the situation, because I agree it's probably not the greatest idea. But I just want to kind of point to the man. I'm so long-winded. I try not to make these too long, but unsuccessfully again. I want to make mention to her fiance's salary, with no debt though. He makes half as much money, right, on paper, but he's not tethered to a debtor. He's not tied to debt. I don't know who you are. I don't know who your children are, but I'm going to teach my children that 60K with no tie to it is far greater than that 120K with 300,000 tied to it. Especially just starting off. You'll have more wiggle room. You'll have more flexibility. Okay, here's what I mean. He has no debt and he gets bonuses, right? I don't know the pharmacy game that well to know if whether or not you can, get bonuses. Maybe she can get, a higher paying job, but even still, the payments are going to go up for that 300,000. I'm just saying, man, like these are the types of things. Here's a great exercise. Here's a solution. This is the exercise that you need to do with your high school scholar that's planning to go to college. You need to do the cost of living exercise. I have not coined the phrase, but this is something that I did not coin the phrase. I didn't make it up per se, but this is something that I regularly do with the families that I work with. You need to ask your baby. You need to send this video to somebody who you know is about to go to college, okay? Especially this part. If they don't watch nothing else, tell them watch this part. You need to do the cost of living exercise. What type of lifestyle do you want to live? Where do you want to live? How do you want to live? Do you want to rent? Do you want to own? Do you want to drive? Do you want to walk? Do you want to ride a bike? What city do you want to live in? How much does it cost? What career do you want to get into? What is the median income of that career? Let's talk about taxes. They need to know these things in order to make an informed decision on their financial future. That's what college has to be. We're not going to college for the prestige of getting a degree anymore. It's 2024. It's for an investment. It has to be an investment for your financial future, specifically your financial future. Not character, not morale, not socially acceptable decision after high school, financial decision. All great investors count the cost before they invest their money. You won't talk to any seasoned investor, whether it be real estate, whether it be crypto, whether it be investing in people. They're doing their research. They're counting the cost. They're doing the work on the front end to see if this is a good idea or not. Because it might not be a good idea. And if it's not a good idea, you know what they're not going to do? They're not going to go there. Don't tether yourself to a school, y'all, before you count the costs. Don't bind yourself. Don't get married before you ask them the right questions. Because the moment you sign that intent to enroll, you're tethered to a bill. And that bill got to get paid. Rather, the moment that you enroll, not the intent to enroll, that's a false statement. The moment that you enroll, you're tied to a bill. Unless, of course, you drop it before the ad drop period. But you get the point. Don't bind yourself, y'all. Don't get stuck. Don't get stuck before you even have a chance to flex your wings a little bit. You're clipping your wings financially. This is a thought that I want you to consider. For those that are new and you've never heard me speak about this before, I used to work in financial aid. Okay, I used to work for an institution that served students, or that does serve students, but that offers federal student aid. Okay, the federal government will loan your child up to $60,000, just about $60,000 in federal student loans, with no job, with no source of income, with no ability to pay it back. What in the world do you think is going to do to them financially if they take money that they do not have? It's literally a setup. It's literally a setup, y'all. It's a setup. Let's keep going.
Let me tell you a story.
That's where we're at.
Let me tell you a story. My husband and I had $280,000 of student loans.
My God.
A little less than you, but if you add our credit cards in, we are, call it 300.
Good God.
No credit card for us.
My point is, your
My
income
hair about
is
to turn
a lot
gray.
better than ours was back then, at least to start.
Mm-hmm.
And for you guys, it doesn't matter. Like Dave said, getting married is not the issue. Matter of fact, go ahead and get married, work on this thing together, and go
Sure.
through it together. And you're just gonna have to walk through these steps and commit to the fact that we've got this debt here for a couple of years. We're living on nothing to get this paid off. Luckily, you guys got a good shovel. You got a good income, and that's it. It's just the student loans, right?
Courtney,
Now,
Courtney, you feel stuck,
I really do.
and you feel a little bit ashamed to marry him, and
Attached
and
to all.
hand him $300K.
Good point, Dave.
Like you're going,
Mm.
pretty serious dowry here. Yeah. That's an old word, but yeah.
That's an old word.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's so it is messing up, not getting married, but it's messing up your view of yourself and your relationships. Is that?
Well, and it's also difficult to budget because we want to have one bank account.
You don't need to have one bank
we want
account until you're married.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
We wanna- we
Let
want
me project a future for you that you haven't seen. Let's run some numbers for a second. Okay. Go get married this weekend. No,
Okay.
just ride with me on my little trip here, okay? Just for a second.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds absurd, but you've been dating for 3 years. You've been engaged forever. We'll celebrate in other ways later. Now, if I calculated correctly, you make 122, he makes 60. That's 182. He has no debt.
122, not
We have
120.
Now
My
one
bad.
house to support, one set of rent, one set of heat and air, one set of electricity, one set of water, one set of things in the refrigerator. With me?
Right.
So your living costs go down.
All right, so this is obviously going into in a different direction than what I like to focus on, and still very much so good conversation. So I'm going to end it here as far as the reaction goes. But I want to just kind of reiterate this, y'all. This is not necessary. It's just not necessary. It's not necessary. I know that there may be some folks that will jump in the comments and say, well, what do you expect? She's a doctor. She's got a pharmacy degree. She's a pharmacist, right? They're expensive. How does it get paid for? It gets paid for with preparation. It gets paid for with preparation. I obviously don't know Courtney, and this is not personal, but this is generalized to students who are getting ready to pursue a degree. You need to, at the very least, okay. Let's just do it. Let's just do this. You need to, at the very least, have options. You need to, at the very least, know if whether or not this is going to ruin you financially. You got to count the cost. Literally, here's what I want you to do. Get a piece of paper. Write down your top 10 schools. Write down where they are. Write down if they have what you want to study or not. And write down how much it costs. Don't worry about getting in. Don't worry about it. Write down how much it costs. Then look at your bank account. This is undergrad. This is master's. This is professional degree, whatever. Any level. And then I want you to work like crazy to figure out how it's going to get paid for. Just because the school costs less does not mean that your degree is going to be less. I don't know, and I don't think that she mentioned where she got her doctorate degree from, her pharmacy degree from. But you know what? It got her an opportunity to make $122,000 a year. I'm pretty sure they didn't say, hey, well, you went to this particular school. We're going to hire you based off of that alone. They wanted to know if whether or not she was qualified to do the job. That's what matters at the end of the day. That's what employers desire, people who are dependable and qualified, period. Dependable and qualified, period. Oh, you went to Harvard? Nice. Can you do this work? Obviously, there are some people who will automatically assume that because they went to Harvard, Princeton, or a brand name school or whatever, that they will automatically be able to do the work. But that does not guarantee you anything. We've got, and I think that this even goes into like, and I'm definitely about to go. I'm not going to go there. But this is definitely grounds for a rabbit trail because it kind of leads to the sense of entitlement that we get just because we did this, that we're supposed to. No, you got to work for it, man. You got to earn your name. All right. Different conversation, different day. Catch me on Fridays where I drop my long speaking post where I talk more about character development. This is all about the money, y'all. All about the money. I think I might call this little segment that all about the money. I think that's a good idea. Right on the spot. If you think all about the money is a good little name for this segment where I talk about college planning, give me a 1 in the comments. Just drop the number 1 if you think all about the money is a nice little name for our segment where we talk about college planning. My name is Jordan Green-Ellis. I'm your debt-free degree coach. I'm getting ready to get out of here. I want you to subscribe to this channel. Please, please, please. Because more people need to know this, y'all. More people need to know this. More people need to know that they don't have to go into $300,000 worth of debt before they even make $1. I'll see y'all next week.